So here we are. Here we go around the mulberry bush. Anyway, so since you are here now and we are not going to do so much speaking, I'm going to do what I did during the confinement with my students, and it is that I gave them some sentences like tongue twisters to practice a bit their pronunciation. So I'll do it with you too. So we'll start with the P. Okay, I'll go in order. I have this phonetic package. I don't know if you used it. I don't know if you did it. I don't think you did it with Vincent. I don't think you had him. Okay. So notice that the P in English is much stronger than in Spanish. Okay, in Spanish say pa, co, pa, and that's it. Okay? Whereas in English you put some kind of an H after the P, so it's more like pe, pe. I don't know if you can hear the so pe, pe, pe. Okay, so you can even practice up, out, pe, 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 poo. Anyway, so the poor peasant, campesino, prayed, rezó that the panther wouldn't pounce. Pounce is to jump on someone, normally an animal on another animal. So the idea is that you can exaggerate, and after 10, 20, 30 seconds, you can say the sentence without looking. Okay, so the poor peasant prayed that the panther wouldn't pounce. So I've said it already without looking. So you can practice. Okay, I'll say it more slowly if you want to repeat. The poor peasant prayed that the panther wouldn't pounce. Okay, focusing especially on the piece. Okay, so if we go to page 18, you will do page 17 in class today. Some of you, the others already did it yesterday, so this is the lesson that you have for today, Tuesday. I'm sending it early just in case those who didn't come yesterday want to start doing it. Otherwise you'll have today a lesson and you'll have this lesson too to do before tomorrow. So anyway, so multiple choice part 1. Okay, this is a bit different. We'll look at it when we look at the exercise. This is a little introduction. You have a questionnaire. Okay, so answer the questions to see if you're an introvert. Introvert is like shy, the opposite of an extrovert. Okay, so I won't use Scarlett, that I will be doing this. There's a word here, very funny. Everything is so funny. Dread. Okay, remember I told you about this word because I don't know if I told you. I think I didn't read this with you. When Mrs. Van Hopper tells the narrator about how Rebecca died, I think she said it was dreadful. She drowned, no? She was drowned in the sea near Mandalay. It was dreadful. So dreadful comes from dread. Dreadful is horrible. To dread is to be horrified about doing something. So to be really afraid. Do you dread? Okay. Do you fear? And I think the rest is okay. So stop the video. Go through this. So you prefer online lessons or face-to-face ones? Sorry. My attempts at humor are pathetic on computer. Like in person. Okay, once you've answered the questions, go to page 147 and see if you agree with the results. Okay, so you stop the video. I hope you have already finished. Okay, don't continue until you've done it and checked 147. So I don't know if you are more of an introvert or an extrovert. I think this is more or less true. It's a bit extremist. Okay, so I don't ignore it on purpose, but sometimes I have messages and I don't reply to them. I don't have many messages from friends anyway. Okay, so for example, in my case, I may tend to be more of an introvert, not like some so extreme. Like I feel uncomfortable. I used to, but now I'm okay. I don't immediately put in earphones, but I may do it. Okay, because then people are less likely to talk to you. For example, at the gym, I don't go. No, but when I was much younger, I was your age. Perhaps I go and I might wear earphones, and that made people less likely to talk to me because I didn't like people talking to me. I mean, if I went there, I wanted to train and go home, and that's it. Okay, there were people who you will know. Okay, you go in, they are waiting to talk to people all the time. They spend 3 hours there because they have nothing better to do. So now, part 1. Okay, multiple choice part 1. This is a bit similar to the one in the B2. In the B2, what you had was 8, I think. You had 8 conversations which were independent, and then you had A, B, and C. So this is similar, but instead of having 8, sorry for that was a motorbike. You have 3 conversations, and instead of having just 1 question, you have 2 questions. Normally, the questions will be in order. Normally, this will be mentioned first, and this second. obviously you have it here. Highlight this. Important to read the question and the options carefully. I mean, this is critical. If you don't do this, you are totally lost. Obviously, you're not going to hear the same words. You will hear paraphrases. So this is the same as the B2. This is a bit more difficult, but it's how it works is the same thing. The mental process is exactly the same. Now, you have to highlight things that are very important. Stop the video, read it first. You can read all three. Okay, so once you've read it, things that you have to highlight. So, book about personality types. Now, you will nearly always have, when it says two friends, a man and a woman. So that it's easy to distinguish that they are different people, because if there were two men, sometimes they have similar voices and you don't realize that different people are speaking. Okay, so this is important. Man. Okay, how did the book make the man feel? So you highlight this. It's about the man, because the woman may say something about how she feels or how she felt. Okay, so unsure, positive, relieved. Now, if you notice, there are like two concepts. Unsure, what makes him an introvert? So perhaps he's unsure about something else, so be careful. Positive, about his personality. It's true that positive could be certain, but I think positive here is like positive, the opposite of negative. But his personality, relieved, aliviado, that his behavior is normal. So you have two ideas. Perhaps he's relieved about something else. So this is like the key word, but notice that the whole sentence is a paraphrase. Okay? Now they agree. Whenever I have this, I always do this. And I write a little note about what each of them says. And then agree. Agree means that they both need to say something similar. Sometimes agreeing is yeah. And I'm not joking. The man says, oh, it's too, I don't know. I think it is a one-sided argument. No, one-sided is unbalanced. It's not balanced. It's one-sided. Okay, it supports one side more than the other. So the man says this, and the woman may say, yeah, or the woman may say, I see your point. Those would be agreeing, or sometimes they may paraphrase. So they may say the same idea with different words, but sometimes it's just like, yeah, you're right. I think so too. Oh, me too. Things like that are already agreeing. Okay, so the man may mention one of them, but the woman may just not say anything, or may say, no, I don't quite agree. So they are not agreeing. So this is really important. I always do it like this. If you look at my book right now, okay, this is what I have for 1 and 2. So this is what you need to do, okay? Read it, highlight the keywords. Remember, highlight with a highlighter. Highlight with a highlighter. And try to write down the evidence. Remember, you listen to it twice. Okay? So, that's it. Read it. I will have sent you the audio, so listen to the audio twice and do the exercise. Okay, remember? 3 conversations, 2 questions for each. They are in order. Normally it's man or woman, or they agree. Okay, so when they agree, you should write this. So it's not easier, but not so difficult. So you should have done it already. You should have listened to it twice. You should have your answers. I'm going to show the answers in 3, 2, 1. Needless to say, it will be very stupid just to copy and not to do it. Okay, thank you. Now these are the answers. Okay, you can stop it. These are the last 3. The first 3. Okay. Now before we do something, you have some help here. It says listen to extract 1 again and look at question 1. Are there any paraphrases in the recording for unsure or relieved? Which words in the recording are summarized by the word normal? Okay, so this is what you had to do. If there are any paraphrases for unsure and relieved for you to notice, and which words in the recording are summarized by the word normal. Okay, because he said relieved that his behavior was normal. Okay, so you have it here. There was nothing wrong with that at all. So there was nothing wrong. It was normal. And I found it quite reassuring. So reassuring is like relieved. reassuring. So now I feel better with myself, so I'm relieved. So this is what you need to do. I want you to go to page 209. You have this. On page 209, you have the script, and I want you to find the evidence for the other 5. Okay, the evidence is a paraphrase. Have you got it? I'm going to tell you the paraphrases in 3, 2, 1. I don't know if you've realized, but the paraphrases are here. I'm so evil. So, can you match these 5 paraphrases to the 5 answers, only the answers, like 2A, 3B, 4A, 5B, and 6C? Okay, I made a mistake with this. Okay, so match them. Okay, make sure you've been able to match them, it should be very easy because I already told you to look for the evidence, which was more difficult than just matching them. So you should already have this. Ready? Set. So this is number 3. People aren't honest, so they present an image of themselves which may not be very accurate. Accurate is what you need to know. The negative is inaccurate. The noun is accuracy. Okay, like privacy, accuracy. So not worth devoting, that was 2, I think, no? Too much detail, so not worth devoting so much time. 2. I've been invisible, that was 5. Okay, disturbed by the isolation, like being invisible. Strict with myself. C. I'll tell you something about this when we finish. Oh, sorry, C. 6. I helped him to be self-disciplined. And this gets to me. I'm annoyed. 4A. Okay, 4. It irritates me, so it gets to me. Me tocan las narices. Okay, now number 5 is a good example of why this is so difficult, even if you know English. He changed his attitude. I think this is true, but nobody says which fits best. I told you about this the other day with the reading. The one that fits best according to what you hear. So it's true that it says, I've had to learn to be strict with myself, so he's self-disciplined. True, it's certainly true. But he changed his attitude to online friendships. I think that is true because he says, I had it here. He says something about, I've realized that I don't need to be available 24/7. No, it says, I've managed to maintain the online relationships I care about without having to feel I need to be available to chat 24/7. So he changed his attitude to online friendships, but perhaps not to the friendships, to how he deals with the friendship. I mean, could be understood, construed. Construed is like interpreted. Construed can be construed. I think you say construed. This is Celia. This is in legal translation. No, the contract can be construed, or something can be, a law can be construed, interpreted. So, if you go to the next page, the next page, look at this. Well, I hope you can hear this. I think you should. Welcome to the
Hello. As you can see, I'm an emoji. A meh, to be exact. Anywho, a pleasure to announce our first movie. Yay. It's almost too thrilling for words. So bring the family. Doesn't have to be your family. The Emoji Movie.
No. Express yourself. So I told management, I can't work like this. These lights. I'm melting in here. This is such a load of...
No, go ahead. Finish that sentence.
I'm positively euphoric right now.
Express yourself.
So, this is officially the worst movie in 2016. It was voted the worst movie in that Yeah. So, which of these do you use and do you know what they mean? I think we agree. I don't know. We can discuss this in class. Today we have time. If we finish, we can discuss it. Okay, so this is that you really like something. This is that you're sad or you're pretending to be sad. This is that you're being mischievous. Mischievous. Travieso. Mischievous. Mischievous. This appears in Harry Potter. The twins are mischievous. Mischief. And also when it says mischief done, travesura realizada in the Marauders map. Mischief done or completed. I don't remember. Mischief done. So this is the sad, happy, having like a bit like being naughty. Or just like, oh, I can't believe it, or you're ashamed, angry, and laughing out loud. Laughing out loud. Laughing out loud. You probably know more about this than me. There's a text there about people who are older than 30 not being able to use emojis. So I will be there in that group. Now, we're going to part 3. Okay? This is where you change the word. Remember, I've said this in class, but I don't know. I'm not sure people listen to it a lot. Okay, you have this pattern, which is the most common one. The, my, his, her, etc. Quantifiers, no, many, things like that. So after that, if you have a word, it's a noun. My book, their book, many books, etc. If you have something before that, it's normally an adjective. Okay? My blue book, my little sister, etc. And if you have something else, you have an adverb or perhaps two adjectives. There are other structures, okay? Sometimes you have noun. Now we saw in the podcast, we saw something I told you about English teacher. I don't remember what appeared in the podcast, but it was noun, and I told it's possible, like English teacher, profesor de inglés. Es complemento del nombre in Spanish, so it's the same in English, noun. Then you have other possibilities, okay, with verb to be or similar verbs like seem and so on. Again, that's adjective. You can have adverbs before the adjective. Okay, he was tired, they were tired. After verb to be, you can also have ing or third form. If it is continuous, okay, we are producing, or it was closed, you have the passive. But this covers most of them, okay? If you look at it, so here's the example. They have a weird attachment. So you have noun, adjective, a. This is exactly what I've told you. A, adjective, noun. So it goes like this. This one first, this one. So this is what we're going to be working on. So you have the same thing. So you see the example? It's true. Okay, verb to be plus adjective. It's true that you can say to be a teacher, no? That's a noun. That can be a noun. Or to be a very good teacher, that could be. But then you'll have this structure again, you see. Or if it is plural, you are great students. So you have an adjective, noun. Okay, so these are typical structures that you have. So this is what you have to do. Apart from being excellent, this is what I was explaining. You have an adjective, so you need noun. Do you think shy people are necessarily, so verb to be, adverb? Okay, you need adjective. Chatting online is a great form of preposition. This is what I wrote before. Okay, I know I didn't write this one. Also with preposition is like this. Preposition is this. I knew I was missing something. Okay, so preposition, if there's only one word, noun, and then you have to think about positive and negative. This depends on the context. Oh, I've won the lottery. I'm so unhappy. No, it doesn't make sense to write unhappy. You expect something negative. I got a 10 in the exam. Okay, so you expect something positive. So this will depend on the context. These are a bit difficult, so you can use the dictionary if you want. Notice apart from this appears in an example a bit too, and some people wrote apart from. So you can use the dictionary. I'm going to give the answers in 3, 2, 1. So apart from being excellent, You need a noun, communicators, people who communicate. You need the noun for, you have communication, this happens too. Okay, when you have a noun, it can be the person or the abstract, not like performer, performance. It can be politics or politician, a painting or a painter. And sometimes you have two nouns or even more, like employer, employee, employment, and employment. So you have to choose the correct one. Necessarily, notice this word also from me. Necessarily, it appeared in one of the tests at the end of the B2 book. You need the adjective, so you need the negative adjective. So people who don't communicate are 3, 2, 1 uncommunicative, and the noun here is communication. The advantage of all online lessons. Some people have come now. I've been here for 10 minutes. So I told you, okay, noun here you needed the noun, but it was the person, so plural. Otherwise, you'd have a. So apart from being an excellent, since this is important to know, it's about a positive, negative before, and then for nouns you have singular, plural. Okay, so you need to look at these things. If you were singular, it would be n. Okay, or here a great form of communication. So in this exercise, what do you always do first? Read the whole of each sentence, okay? And before this, read the whole text. Okay, don't just look at the gap. Read the whole text. That is number 1. Okay, and then notice the whole sentence so that you know if it is singular, plural, positive, negative, etc. So, what problem with the over 30's use of emojis I mentioned? Okay, see if you agree. Don't complete anything. Don't do anything. Don't do anything. Just read it. Have you got it? So this happens to me sometimes. I'm like looking for the right emoji, and then I remember students last year told me that they hardly ever use it with the right meaning. They use it like sarcastically and so on. So it's not so important to choose the right one. Okay, but anyways, I remember this. So okay, now you do the exercise. You look carefully what I told you before about what part of the speech you need, and you can consider this first. Okay, remember, adverb is normally a word that is not necessary. Sometimes you need it, but very often if you don't write that word, nothing happens. So it's important to take into account the singular, plural, negative, and if it's a verb, the correct form. So go ahead, be extremely careful. Notice attachment. We saw detachment from somewhere. Okay, go ahead. Okay, hope you have finished. Ready, set. What did you do before? You correct it. Okay, make sure you read it, the text. Okay, you read the text completely and see if you notice something strange, something that doesn't add up because it's the wrong word. Sometimes it's just very difficult, but you should always try to read it and see if it sounds correct. Okay, so ready, set, go. Okay, so these are the answers. You can stop the video. These are the answers. Okay, stop and try to understand why you made those mistakes before I explain what the problem was. You can use this information. Okay, so ing. My parents' use is embarrassing. So verb to be, see? Verb to be, adjective. Only one word, so the adjective. ing, because you're describing what something is like. Remember, ed is for feelings. It's appeared in Bridget Jones all the time, and she was always embarrassed. Are unexpected or random. So remember, you have an adjective, so or and put two things together which are the same. So random or unexpected, these are similar meanings. Okay, if it's expected, it's not random. So in an adjective, the adjective could be expected or unexpected. This is why it's negative. Okay, so have you realized that humor lies in choosing unexpected ones or random ones, not translating words into pictures. Okay, so you have to be careful. So again, verb to be, adjective, can lead to preposition. After preposition, I told you preposition, if there's only one word, now 2 words, 3 words. So misunderstandings. Why is it plural? Because it's not a. Can lead to a. There was a misunderstanding. It must have been a misunderstanding, but it's not. It's plural. You don't have a after preposition and noun. So misunderstanding. We've seen this, misunderstood, missing something, I think. No, it was a misunderstanding. It was misinformation. I remembered something similar. It was misinformation, sorry. This is so amazing. We can check things so fast and you don't have to wait. You see, things are faster. Okay, so misunderstandings. It's using because it's almost impossible to be certain. So since it's impossible to be certain, it can lead to misunderstandings. A little too enthusiastic. And you say unenthusiastic, but it didn't make much sense. Okay, so a little too enthusiastic. And they fail to notice. They fail to comprehend. Comprehend is like fully understand something. To comprehend, it's not. It's like in Spanish, comprehender more or less. Fail to is not to do something you're supposed to. So they fail to comprehend. They should, but they don't comprehend or understand this. They are used slightly ironically. It modifies a verb. Okay, how are they used? They are used ironically. Notice ironic. The adjective is ironic. But to make the adverb with these words like romantic, futuristic, ironic, I don't know, romantic, futuristic, ironic, then you put al. So because normally you just put li, but except for publicly that I know of, publicly is like that. Publicly. But normally the normal thing is this. Okay. So notice that well, this is part 3. Okay, you need to record your mistakes. Part 3, you write you don't need to write the page for this part, but you write part 3 and you record the forms. Okay, give the impression. I told you the plus a noun. So you have there's nothing in between. Impression. So you have impression. The adjective for impression, which is normally a problem, is impressive. Okay, I don't know, Lucy, if you remember Baker having problems with impressive. He said impressionant a lot of times. Impressive. Now for something, okay, so you have noun. This is anyway, you have these adjectives, so and you need an adjective which is also positive, relevant and meaningful. Notice only one L. I saw this mistake. Someone made a mistake with this. Someone wrote double L in the Rebecca test. Full is only one L. Okay, beautiful, useful, etc. And effective. Effective was in the effectively or effectivity. Effectivity or effectiveness was in the test, which I forgot to give you yesterday. I'm so sorry. If you can. Okay, so an effective. So an adjective, noun. And that's it. The postman has come, sorry. And that's it. Okay, so effective, effectiveness, effectivity. Effectiveness and effectivity is more or less the same. So that's it. Thank you very much. If you made it this far, bye.